Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. I am going to try and do Vlogtober. I'm doing Vlogtober. We are going to start with Money Mondays. We're just going to do 4 Money Mondays this month, and I just want to talk about certain things that I've learned. I love to document. I scribble over everything. I write everything along, and I was watching a podcast, and they were talking about things, and I was like, I do that, I need to try this, I need to try that. And I was like, you know what, let me turn this into a video. So I wanted to talk about, this week I'm going to talk about budgeting when you have an inconsistent income, a low income. But even if you have a big income, this will still help. I think there's some general tips about budgeting, pay yourself first, all these principles. But let's say you're broke, you're failing to make, not failing to make ends meet, but struggling to make ends meet. And I've been there for sure. Sometimes I still feel like I'm there, but I guess it's not as bad, but I've been there. And I just wanted to share what I did and what started working for me beyond a certain point. So the first and most important thing is, when you have inconsistent income, you need to have an understanding of what is your minimum that you need to earn weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, annually to get by. You need to know your minimum amount, your minimum potential, what you can earn, not what you need actually, but what you can feasibly earn. What is a good week? What is a bad week? What is a good month? What is a bad month? What is a good year? What is a bad year? Like, what's feasible? For me, at a certain point, that was like, I think $300 a week. I don't remember, but at a certain point it was that. And I had to self-start. I was, doing the gig work at the time, struggling to get a job, doing the gig work. And you need to know that I can't get to the end of the day without doing this or doing that. There's times when you're doing work that it's fun, it's exciting, you're enjoying it, especially like work where you earning as you go, babysitting, dog walking, whatever. Like, the money motivates you, the pace motivates you, but there are boring days or days where your energy is elsewhere. You need to know, if I just get to this number, I can go home. If I just get to this number, I can, just having a bare minimum to say, I need this amount a day, a week, a month, a year. I know some people are like consultants and contractors, and they do so many jobs to get to a certain point. You need to have an idea of what that minimum is, right? Once you meet that threshold, you can budget within that minimum threshold. And then the other thing to know that's so important is, how often do you get paid? Some people have really great paying gigs, like jobs that pay so well, but the pay is inconsistent. They get paid once a year, they get paid after so many months. There are just some careers that are like that. I know real estate has its own thing. I know content creation is one of those where someone does the work, you get the contract. The timeline between getting the contract and actually getting paid is so long. You need to have an idea of that, because you need to have cash flow. You need to have cash flow, It's not just about how much money you actually make. You need to have cash flow, and you have to understand, this money that I'm getting is going to stretch me yay long. Okay. So then the next thing is to put your expenses in order of priority. This is literally on my notes app. It's in my phone. Somebody said that to say this is how you need to do your budget. I want to say, this priority list, a part of it is realistic and a part of it is what's important to you, right? So a part of it is the realistic things, like, if I don't pay this bill, I won't have a roof over my head. If I don't pay this bill, I won't be able to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I find that a lot of people pay major bills and they forget certain things that are essential to their life. I'll give an example. When I was in college, even though having a phone was most likely the only bill I really had at the time, it was not an essential bill. I could say, listen, I don't have income. I am not going to have a phone for a month. I had prepaid service, so I would just wait it out. 30 days later, get the prepaid service back up. So that's an example of like something that seems important, but it's not. Whereas getting my textbooks, for example, very important, happened once a semester at the beginning of the year, was essential. So you gotta stack your things in order. For me, right now as an adult, it's rent. Rent is like number one, not having somewhere to live. And then strong second under that is gas money. I gotta be able to get around. And I know a lot of people put gas money at the bottom, but I'm like, I need to be able to get around. It's an essential for me. So once every 2 weeks, I gotta fill my tank up to the max. You know, food is an essential as well. I think people try to treat it like it's something small, but it's not something small. You can't get by without food, but it's up to you to decide what is the order. You know, we have things like Wi-Fi, your phone, gas, electric, water, like your utilities, things like that. Those are very, very important. And then it's up to you to decide where savings fits in, where debt payback fits in, like those kind of things. But once you kind of list things, and I list them in order, was every time I touch money, I split my money across all my most important bills. I know some people, and I used to be like this. I used to be the person who I get a paycheck and this is my non-rent paycheck. So this is my middle of the month paycheck. I got no responsibilities. Let's live it up. And then I would get another paycheck and that would be my rent paycheck. And then I would just be broke. And I was like, this is not working for me. So for me now, every check is a rent paycheck. Every check is a, utility paycheck. Every check is for anything that's a big thing in my budget. It's going to be cut away from the check. There's noise upstairs. I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't do that thing of saying this is a non-rent paycheck, so I don't have to worry about it. None of that. Actually, skip into another bit and piece of this is also like money that I get as gifts. There's no, oh, this is a gift, so I buy whatever I want. Like if I get a gift card and it's those like Visa gift cards or whatever, it's gonna go towards something important. There's no, this is just free money. I don't believe in free money. I'm a budgeting girly now. I budget all the time. So that was like a change in how I thought about money and how I thought about budgeting. So I remember back when I was young, I had a lady tell me that, hey, listen, when you get your refund checks and you get your stuff, make sure you take that money and you pay it a little bit towards mortgage. And in my very young brain, I was like, oh, I don't have a mortgage, so that's my money. That's always how I treated it. And then something finally ding, 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 ding hit me last year to say, wait, you can prepay some of your smaller bills. Like you can pay your, you can prepay your electric or your whatever, have a credit running on your electric bill or a credit running on your gas bill, something like that. Like you can prepay for certain services. And the good thing about those companies is if you close your account and you move or you leave and stuff like that, they will send you a check back for the money that's extra on your account. So you don't lose anything by prepaying some of those major bills. In fact, you increase your monthly cash flow because you don't have to worry about that one small thing. Obviously, we're talking about like you are someone with inconsistent income. That is your problem, not someone who has consistent income and knows that my paycheck can fit all that. No, you think your paycheck may not be enough or your income might not be enough to cross you over. So when you get gifts, when you get money, use it to pay some of those monthly expenses, weekly expenses, whatever cash flow thing you need, And then the most important thing is when you're making your budget, right? When you're making your budget, you're typing it in your notes, you're using your computer, your phone, piece of paper, whatever. Make sure you add the date when the bill is due next to your budget. Like include it, rent is due on the 1st. latest on the 5th, whatever your company does. Mortgage is due on this day, whatever is the latest that day. Make sure you have dates accompanying your budget. That way you kind of also have an idea of like, if I need to have enough money for this by this date, right? So if you're putting aside, let's say $200 every week for rent, then you know by the time I get to the 1st, I need to have my $800 ready. I'm just assuming you live alone, living in a relatively inexpensive place. But if you're putting $200 aside every single week, or you're putting $300, whatever you're putting aside for your rent, you want to make sure that by the date that it is due, you have it. And this is also good for people who have inconsistent paychecks but have pay days. You know, like you have your payout day. You need to know that the payout's coming on the 3rd, but the bill's due on the 1st, or the payout is coming on the 18th, but my phone service is due on the 15th, that kind of thing. You kind of want to keep informed about the dates. The dates are important. You don't want to miss any dates. If you are very good with this system that I just explained, you can actually do autopay. You can set up autopay. If you don't want to, don't. If you don't want to, don't. But you can set up autopay if the system ends up working for you and creating a flow, okay? And I think that's it for this video. We are going to discuss in the next video, and I think I'm just going to record these. Back to back, but they are going to be posted on Mondays. We're going to discuss budgeting with consistent income, because that's the easiest way to budget. That's the best way to budget, you know. It's way more fun that way. But inconsistent income, low income, watch it. If somebody hands you a little 50, don't go into Target and buy yourself something that doesn't matter. Take that little $50, go and pay a bill. You know, pay a phone bill in advance, a water bill in advance, an electric bill in advance. Especially in this day and age, us young adults, I don't know if I'm still a young adult. Us adults and young adults, we're still struggling, even though we have jobs and we're working and we're doing all these things. We're really, really still struggling financially to get it together. So that's some of the things that I just thought, let me share from my experience how I did it when I was living that life. All right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Bye.